All right, hello YouTube. So we're back on the Grease Goblins YouTube channel. We're back with our Wednesday Game of Thrones videos. So if you want to see more of these videos, we do these every Wednesday. Just doing some predictions of the Winds of Winter's characters. We're on Jon Snow now. If you want to see the rest of the videos, I'll have a playlist at the end of the video, and I'll also have a link in the description. We've done Daenerys, we've done Stannis, we did Jon Connington / Aegon or Fagon Targaryen or Blackfyre, whichever you want to go with. We did that last week. Yeah, we're on to Jon Snow. Again, I wanted to wrap this character into some of the characters we've been doing, because I'm kind of focused on like the Targaryen plot line, as well as I already did Stannis, and Jon's kind of involved with that plot line. So yeah, if you want to see more of these videos, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know. Also, let me know what your guys' theories are on Jon. So yeah. All right, getting into Jon. The last we see of Jon is in A Dance of Dragons. He is basically stabbed, like in the end of season 5 in the show. He is stabbed by his brothers, and he's dead, basically. A lot of the theories are he wargs into Ghost, and that's currently where his consciousness is. So most people think Melisandre is either going to do some sort of sacrifice or some sort of ritual and bring him back using Ghost's body to get him back to his original body. Now, I think in the books, there will be a better job of this Jon losing a part of himself, because we see that with Beric Dondarrion. We see that with Lady Stoneheart. Lady Stoneheart, I actually want to do her next week. So if you guys want to see that, subscribe, because I think I'm going to do Lady Stoneheart next week and where I think her plot's going to go. Getting a little off topic, but back to Jon. So I think we're going to see that happen. I think Jon's coming back. It just makes sense for the plot reasons, and just overall, it just makes sense. But I think something like what happens on the show does happen, where he does go south. He was already planning on doing it when he was killed. That is the main reason why he was killed, because he was breaking his oath. But I think we see similar what happens on the show. He comes back, he hangs some of the people, he leaves, and then goes south. Now, where I think this will be actually a little different is I could actually see the castle already being taken by the Baratheon forces, but Stannis actually being dead already, dying in the battle or something, and Ramsay already being defeated. Or I could see it somehow happening how it does in the show. I just think Stannis will win the first battle, which will be Battle of Ice, probably is what they're going to call it. And then maybe Stannis dies in the second battle, because you will still have the Baratheon, or not Baratheon forces, but the Bolton forces left. Maybe that's what happens. To where Stannis kind of softens him up a little bit, and then Jon kind of comes in and then wins it. And then maybe we have a retrack of the King of the North plot and all that stuff. Now, I can tell you right away, Jon's plot will not be the same as it is in the show. He is not going to be a yes man. George knows how to write characters better. He's not going to sit there and he's not going to be like Daenerys is like, "You are my queen." Sorry, that was a really bad impersonation, but you get what I mean. He's not going to just like be a little lapdog where he just gets walked over by Daenerys, basically. I could see the thing where basically they hook up, and that's the reason like Daenerys comes to the North's aid and stuff. But like I discussed in an earlier video, I actually think Aegon or Blackfyre or Targaryen could actually have the throne by this point. So it's going to be interesting to see if which plot gets resolved first, if they kind of go the way the show did, where they resolve all the White Walker stuff or the others in the books, and then they focus on the throne, or if they focus on establishing the throne first and then we figure out the White Walker stuff. But it'll be interesting. I do think Jon will take control of the North, will unite the North, eventually uniting with Daenerys. This could either be before she takes the throne or after. Does not really matter. And I think Jon's plot roughly goes the same. I think very loosely goes the same with how it did in the show. I just think everything's gonna be done a lot better. Like, we'll have more character development for why Jon kind of goes for Daenerys, besides her just being beautiful, because she's just she's described as being the most beautiful character. Like I feel like in the books. And honestly, I really don't like Daenerys in the books. She's just horny all the time. Especially like the later books, she's just like, our Dance of Dragons, I swear, is every chapter her just like fantasizing about Dario. Like, you can tell how young she is in that book. or even in the books themselves, compared to how the show, where she's like an actual adult and stuff. So it's gonna be interesting to see, because her going crazy and having all these mental problems is a lot easier to do, I feel like, in the books, because she is basically still a child. Like, yes, she's grown up a lot, but it's easier to do. But getting back to Jon, I think you will still have I think the reveal, if they do it in the show, or not the show, in the books, that Jon, being a Targaryen, being the son of Rhaegar and Lyanna Stark, or Targaryen, I guess, will have a lot more meaning in the books. I feel like there will be that internal conflict that continues to help drive Daenerys to madness. And I feel like there will be more significance to it. That maybe, like, kind of how they did the Varys plot line in the show, where Varys starts sending birds to, people in the realm, trying to get people to come to Jon's side, or Aegon's side, whatever. Still gonna call him Jon. Jon's side. I think we could see something like that, but done better, where there actually is people that like rebel against Daenerys. But yeah, I think Jon's a very interesting character, because I feel like he should be the character that, if there is in the show a character that should kill the Night King, or at least have a fight with the Night King. In the show, they don't even give us a fight. He should at least have a fight, where maybe like he's fighting, the Night King, they're fighting, Jon's about to die, and then Arya comes up behind and does the thing. That would make more sense. So hopefully they figure out that plot better. Maybe the books, George actually goes a different route, and he does Jon ends up having to kill Daenerys, who he loves, in order to get Lightbringer, and then with Lightbringer, he's then able to, kill the, Night's King or whatever. Or, which I think would be even cooler, because, we have this anti-war theme in the books. It's George R. R. Martin makes it very apparent, showing us what the cost of war is, showing us how it affects the normal people. That maybe it's just a pact that Jon goes, okay, we have to sacrifice babies, and then they'll just stay on their side, we'll stay on our side, and it'll be fine. Because the one thing we don't know in the books is how the White Walkers are actually going to get over the wall. Because in the show, I think they had this problem too. Because I don't think George told them, because I don't think he had it figured out yet. He might not even have it figured out now. But he wasn't sure how. So basically D&D, or, they had to create some sort of plot line that allowed the others to get her through the wall. So they had this big elaborate plot in season 7, where they go over the wall, or not over the wall, they go on the other side of the wall, they get one single white, bring it all the way back, just to show to Cersei that they're real, but Tyrion shouldn't have trusted her. And it's a really big, stupid plot that makes no sense, but the whole objective, the entire objective of that, was to give the Night King a dragon, so he could take down the wall. That was the entire reason they did that entire plot line. Because they had no idea how the others were supposed to get over. Which is kind of dumb, because they had one. They had a cop-out. Bran with a thing on his arm or whatever, getting touched by a White Walker, or the Night King. Could have said, okay, the magic's kind of dead at the wall because of that, so they can get through. That could have been it, where they assault maybe one of the gates or something like that. And for some reason, they don't blockade the gates like Jon suggests when the wildlings are attacking. Maybe that's how they get over. Because in the books, we're just not sure yet. We don't know. There's no indication of how it's going to happen. So, assuming somehow they get over somehow, which is probably going to happen, I think it makes a lot of sense for Jon to have to make some sort of pact with the others. I just feel like that's the most likely option, with how George has been putting the story together. With kind of how we get in the last 2 books, so A Feast for Crows and then Dance of Dragons, where we see the Brienne plotline. A lot of that plotline is about showing you the destruction of the realm, showing you how badly really everyone's faring because of the War of the Five Kings. Because those 2 books are really about the difficulties of ruling, how hard it is to govern people. Like, Jon is basically governing the Night's Watch for the entire book. Daenerys and Meereen, you've got the King's Landing stuff, which is just governing. A lot of that stuff, I think it makes a lot of sense if Jon was to be the person to have to make that decision, I guess. So yeah, that's where I think Jon's plot's going to go. Jon's plot, basically, I don't think he's going to be king either, even though it does make sense. I don't see it. I do see what they did in the show at the end. Like the end result of where Jon was, where he lived out with the wildlings, not being part of the Night's Watch. That doesn't make any sense. There's no need to have a Night's Watch anymore. Like there's a hole in the wall. I never understood this in the show. There's a hole in the wall, right? So if anybody was ever going to invade, they're going to invade the hole in the fucking wall. And two, there's no White Walkers, which is the whole reason the Night's Watch was even created. And also, Jon already let all the wildlings through, so there's nobody actually living over there anymore unless they're wildlings that went back. So, again, there's no Night's Watch. So Jon just going and living with like Tormund, just living out in the wild or whatever, makes a lot of sense to me. And I actually like that for Jon as a character for his ending. So I would like that to happen with Jon. Don't know if he's going to get blessed with such a happy ending in the books. But yeah, you guys let me know what your theories are for Jon. If you guys even think he's going to come back. I think it's pretty much set in stone he's coming back, especially with how the show brought him back almost immediately. I think it actually, like, I would like it better if they didn't bring him back, because it just kind of like, it's kind of like Gandalf, Lord of the Rings, where it's like, his death means way more if he's dead than if he comes back, right? Because the Fellowship of the Ring means way more in that moment if Gandalf just never comes back. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Again, like, subscribe, and comment for more. Next week, we're going to be doing Lady Stoneheart, so I hope you guys are excited for that. We're going to be getting into some theories with really what Lady Stoneheart's plan is, some theories. I have a really fun theory I want to talk about for next week. We're going to be talking about how possibly Robb Stark could come back. I think it'll be really interesting. And yeah, a bunch of stuff surrounding the Riverlands, all that stuff. We've been kind of focusing on the North and then the Targaryens, so Daenerys and Aegon. So I'm really excited for next week's video. I hope you guys are. And yeah, I'll see you guys next week, Wednesday at 7 p.m.